My oaths betray each other till there's nothing left to keep.
Only Us by Miracle of Sound. Alright, and welcome back to the Shardbreaker podcast. This is episode 1 of Oathbringer. We are back with the Stormlight Archive. We did chapters 1 through 6 this week. I am Midnight, your host, and I am here with Mythic.
Hello.
And Darkness.
Hello.
And so quickly, because Mythic is an audiobook reader, I'm going to put in a couple pictures that we got. So this one is Map of Rashar. The only difference, I think, is that they've now listed where Urithiru is on the map.
The way I tried so hard to look for it, but I'm so blind.
It's like basically right in the center in the middle of a mountain range. It's to the right of Azir. Like the word Azir.
I see it.
You see it now?
I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is a picture. So that they give us at the start of the book. This one they give us at the start of chapter 1. They give us this picture of Urithiru surrounded by the different countries that the Oath Gates go to. So this obviously isn't like a I can't think of
Geographical.
words. Yeah, it's not like an accurate geographical map. It's just kind of like a representation of these are the 10 countries that Urithiru connects to via Oath Gates. So chapter 1 is called Broken and Divided. And it's the first chapter, obviously, of part 1, which is called United. And we get our first epigraph of the book, which we have not had epigraphs in quite a long time. And it says, I'm certain some will feel threatened by this record. Some few may feel liberated. Most will simply feel that it should not exist. From Oathbringer, preface. So what do you think the in-world book of Oathbringer is a record of?
People who bring oaths to others.
I mean, considering what we read, like the beginning stuff, the epigraphs or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the like what they're writing, right? For that book specifically.
Sorry, what do you mean?
Like the epigraphs are the content of it, right?
Yeah, so this is the contents of the in-world book, Oathbringer. It says specifically these are from the preface, so this is technically from like a little bit of writing from the author before the actual content of the book.
Ah.
It's what preface means.
Based on that, I like have no idea. I have no idea what it like,
Do you remember what other thing in world is called Oathbringer? It's okay if you don't, because it has been quite a while since we've read Stormlight.
The weapon?
I don't.
Yes, there is a Shardblade named Oathbringer. So Oathbringer is the sword that Dalinar gives to Sadeas in exchange for Kaladin and all the Bridgemen. And this is also the sword that Adolin throws off of Urithiru when he kills Sadeas at the end of the last book.
Huh.
Oh no, he's dead. Oh no.
So yeah, so that is some more potential context for you guys of like, maybe this is written from someone who's like used or related to Oathbringer in some way. Do you think it's maybe like about the sword for some reason? Do you like those are just some hints that Oathbringer is something other than a book in world. But we start this chapter with Dalinar's point of view as he enters a vision 6 days after they arrived at Urithiru to try to sorry, I just hiccuped. To try to get answers from the dead god called Honor. Now that he was bonded to the Stormfather, he could enter the visions whenever he wished, so he ignored what Honor was saying as he had already heard it several times. Instead, he asked the Stormfather to send him down to the ruins of Kholinar. Although the Stormfather grumbles about this, as it isn't where Dalinar is supposed to be in the vision. Dalinar thinks briefly about the Everstorm and how he had tried to warn people that it would travel around the planet to go back around, but no one seemed to believe that it would come back like the High Storm does. Instead, people seemed to assume it was a one-time event. Dalinar then goes back to examining the ruined version of the city, noting that although it was just made as a backdrop, Honor's visions of what was to come were biased by how he had come. I really fucked up that sentence. Honor's visions of what to come were biased how he had made the city look. So what do you think about Dalinar being able to go into the visions whenever he wants now?
Dan's learning.
At least he has TV now.
Damn. Also, what do you think about the other countries of Roshar ignoring him about the Everstorm coming back?
Do we really expect any different? Like,
Right.
You didn't expect anyone to be like, you know what? We should work with Dalinar. He's right.
no. No.
Why would they believe Dalinar? I don't understand. Not like he does anything, not like he did anything for them or anything like that.
Well, you, I think I might have told you ahead of time, but you guys do find out in this book, as you saw in one of the chapters, that we get a lot about Dalinar's backstory, and maybe why a lot of countries might not trust Dalinar.
I don't understand. He did nothing wrong.
Dalinar was cool though.
Yeah, we'll get to his flashback. He's a very different man than he once was. So Dalinar also notes to himself that the Queen of Alethkar had stopped responding, and there were supposedly riots in the capital. Dalinar worries about this desolation, as in previous ones, the heralds would lead humanity, and the Knights Radiance would already have been established and trained. This time, they had neither of those advantages. As the vision begins to end, Dalinar insists he stays to accept the feeling of destruction instead of leaving it as it ends. As he does, he sees a golden light in a person in black shardplate with 9 shadows and red eyes. Dalinar saw something familiar in the eyes of the person in black shardplate and thinks that this is the enemy's champion. As Dalinar comes back to reality, he asks the Stormfather about what he saw. The Stormfather had not seen it, but replies that golden light is odium, and that 9 shadows likely represent the 9 unmade, which are odium's minions and ancient spren. So what do you think of this champion in black shardplate?
I'm calling him Shadow.
You're gonna call him Shadow? Okay.
He sounds like a badass, and I can't wait to see them kill some motherfuckers.
We got Shadow with the 9 shadows.
Mhm.
We got Shadow and Darkness.
Well, Darkness
Yeah.
has stopped using the name Darkness now. He's going by his real name, Nail, now.
No.
Also, what do you think about the 9 unmade being ancient spren that work for odium?
It's a lot of spread.
We've heard about the Unmade before, right?
We've heard little bits about them. I don't think we've gotten a lot of details about them yet. So I'm trying to think of who. I think you guys know that one of the Unmade is responsible for the death rattles that Taravangian records.
I forgot about that guy.
Yeah, Taravangian with his little death hospital where he records people's last words that are prophetic to like go along with his like super smart writings. I'm trying to think if you guys know any other Unmade. I know you'll hear a lot more about them this book, but I'm not 100% sure what Unmade you would know about other than the one that does the death rattles. I'm not sure if you know any. But yeah, so apparently they're ancient spren though that are working for odium. So Dalinar then tells Navani that he needs to unite the world against odium because before odium can destroy the world. Navani, however, is worried about the present and how they are in these freezing cold mountains with only soulcasters to help with food and basic supplies, which will eventually run out of gemstones to be able to create those things for them. Dalinar then thinks of the Oath Gates and how they can have all the different countries help each other by transporting supplies and troops using them. However, the Oath Gates are locked from both sides and will need a radiant both at the Urithiru Oath Gate and the corresponding Oath Gate in each country to allow them to work again. Navani and Dalinar then have their conversation interrupted by a female scout coming to tell them that they found the corpse of Toril Sadius. So what do you think about how little...
No.
Oh no! Sadius is dead! Such a shame!
Oh no.
But what do you think about how little supplies they really seem to have here at Urithiru?
I mean, it makes sense. They just got there and they had like no setup.
Yeah, they really only have, I think, the supplies that they had brought with them to the battle at Iraq.
I mean, it's not like anyone even was there for a while, like
Uh-huh.
not like someone's gonna squat there and leave some supplies behind.
Yeah, and it's like a freezing cold mountaintop. There's not like there's just stuff growing around and stuff either. There's not a bunch of wild animals to kill.
Mm-mm. Besides Sadius.
Yeah, besides Sadius. Also, how many oath gates do you think they'll be able to unlock? And do you think they are all still
All of them.
standing and able to be used?
All of them.
You think all of them are going to be unlocked? All of them are still in like good enough condition to be
Yep.
used and everything?
They're gonna teleport to all of them.
Oh, that'd be crazy. I don't think so though.
I like making the joke.
There's gonna be like one or two that don't work out,
Hmm.
and then they're gonna be like, "We're gonna have to go there."
I'm
through our
gonna
normal,
be the
like,
person. I'm
the
gonna be the
different
person
ones.
who says the opposite. They're only gonna have the one that they have now.
There's going to be absolutely none of them that
All
work.
the other ones.
That's what I was thinking at first, but then I was like,
You're gonna be cut off from the rest of them.
Yeah, so we know that based on this image that we get at the start of this chapter, we know that the places that have them are, if I can read it, it's kind of, the image is not the best. Alethkar has one. The Shattered Plains, that's the one we know of, has one. Thalena has one. I think that's Azir has one. Amia has one. Shinovar has one. Eerie has one. Hareshi Isles has one. Jakaved has one. I cannot read. Is that Babatharnum? That might be Babatharnum. The image did not scale well. Wait, maybe if I look at it on the website. Better.
I was like squinting and stuff.
Yeah, so yeah, it's Babatharnum, the Reshi Isles, Yakaved, Alethkar, the Shattered Plains, Thalena, Azir, Shinovar, and Eerie. And Amia. Sorry, I missed Amia there. Are the places that have it. So potentially, if they can get the, like, Alethkar one working again, they could go and check on Elikar's wife. Because apparently she's gone quiet.
Really dead.
Because she's dead.
I believe we know from a interlude in the last book that she was like, there was like an artist who was like super angry about her because she was saying that like she wasn't representing any of the virtues of the heralds and that she was like being like super gluttonous and greedy and like being a terrible queen, and then she got executed for like saying that shit.
Because she's dead.
She's probably dead. Yeah.
So then chapter 2, one problem solved. We get a very short epigraph that just says, I needed to write it anyway, from Oathbringer preface. So why do you think the writer feels so strongly that this book needs to be written?
Because it's important.
Because oaths must never be hidden.
I see. So we switch to Adolin's point of view as he stops some workers from unloading a cart of supplies. Rushu and Ardent states that it seems to be beer.
Everybody's getting drunk.
Adolin tells them that where to send the beer and that their High Lords should have been told where the taverns would be setting up. The men reluctantly began reloading their wagon to bring the beer to a different section of the cavernous floor that was as large as a large town. Rushu then points at another wagon that seems to be unloading wine. Adolin then sees some men who are upset that they are hauling water, which is normally parshman work. Adolin tries to calm them down by saying that they could start a new water hauling guild, although he does worry about how they'll pay all these people that will need to take over parshman work. Although supervising all of this was tedious, Adolin enjoyed it because it kept him from thinking about how he had murdered Sadius. When a runner eventually comes to tell Adolin that something had been discovered, he was almost relieved. So what do you think about Navani trying to create order in Urithiru by like having all these places like the taverns are going to be here and the houses are going to be here and like things like that?
That's valid though. That's literally what I would do. Start planning shit.
Seems like no one's really listening to her though.
Yeah.
It's almost like people are sexist in all of these books.
Do you think they're being sexist, or do you think they just don't want to follow like
I just don't
Dalinar
think they wanna
Navani?
follow- Yeah, I just don't think they want to follow them.
Mm-hmm.
because of
No, they're definitely being sexist though.
So we switch back to Downer's point of view as he hears shouting coming from down the hallway. Downer runs down to see some of his men, former bridgemen, standing face to face with members of Sadius's army. They were shouting at each other, with Sadius's men blaming Teft and the others for killing Sadius, while the bridgemen insisted they'd found him like this. Downer briefly examines the body and states the body had been here for a while, and not moved when one of Sadius's men claims that Downer's men had moved it so they wouldn't find him. They also admit they had lost track of Sadius sometime the night before, which Downer is shocked by. Downer also tells Teft to back down when Teft makes a comment that it's good that Sadius is dead. Downer then tells Sadius's men to go get Eli if they hadn't set someone for her already. So what do you think about this tension between the former bridgeman and Sadius's army?
I wonder why that's there.
Yeah, I wonder.
what possibly could have happened. Oh, no.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that these like squabbles are going to continue to escalate, or do you think Dalinar and like Aelin are going to be able to like kind of keep people from fighting?
They're definitely escalating.
So Polana states that this is one problem solved. Did I just skip a paragraph? I did. We skip forward a bit to Dalinar properly examining Sadius's body. Dalinar notes that the eye wound is a practiced one by men in the army who are used to fighting people in armor and helms. Navani had joined him next to the body and says out loud that she thinks it was an assassin. Adolin, Renarin, and Shallan are also standing nearby with some of the bridgemen. One of his scribes stands nearby, although Dalinar feels bad having her still working when she was grieving her husband who had died at the clash in Iraq. All but one of Dalinar's high officers died in either the fight in Iraq or the battle at the tower where Sadius had abandoned them. Even Elhokar was recuperating from being attacked by assassins back at the war camps while Dalinar had been fighting. Due to this, Sebarial and his mistress Polona were with Dalinar since Sebarial was one of the few high princes that had joined Dalinar in his fight in Iraq, and thus one of the few high princes he trusted. Aladar was the other high prince Dalinar trusted, but he hadn't arrived at the scene of the murder yet. So what do you think about how few men Dalinar has left that he can trust because of these two large fights that have happened like within the last year?
Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
He still wants to unite. Like,
Unite.
how's that gonna work out?
It's seeming like he's made progress and now he's made less progress. He's gone back a little bit. So Polona states that this is one problem solved, and everyone else in the room besides Dalinar seems to agree that Sadius is better off dead, even if people will assume Dalinar was behind it. Dalinar, however, is conflicted, as Sadius had once been his friend in their younger years, before he had begun betraying Dalinar. Dalinar leads his people out of the room, allowing Sadius's men back in to hopefully deal with Sadius's body. He leads them out to a balcony that oversees a large stone plateau below that they had realized a couple days ago had somehow been farming fields. Aladar and his daughter May had joined them, and Navani was whispering to them the details of Sadius's death. So do you agree that it's good that Sadius is dead, or do you think Sadius would have eventually come around and helped them, like Dalinar's kind of like hoping for?
I think they would have eventually came around and helped them.
Do you think Dalinar's right that like it's bad that he's dead?
Yeah. Because he has to unite them all.
What do you think, Darkness?
He already tried like so many things like to fuck them over. I don't even think it's worth like giving him another chance.
So Dalinar also notes that several of Kaladin's men had started manifesting radiant powers, but they were considered squires as their powers were tied to Kaladin as they did not have their own spren yet. Their powers were also fading as Kaladin had left to try to warn his family of the Everstorm. So what do you think about the fact that
Nice.
what do you think about the fact that there's radiant squires?
Radiant squires.
That's a crazy concept, actually. Like they're just borrowing it, right? The powers.
Yeah. So basically, I think they're like, they're basically like also holding up the ideals that Kaladin does, but they haven't drawn their own spren to them like Kaladin has. So they're kind of just kind of leeching off of his bond with Syl, kind of, and getting powers as well. But when he's not around, they can't do anything.
Huh.
Can't fly? Oh no.
Lopin.
Yeah, so Dalinar's kind of implying that Lopin, he potentially only started healing his arm from being Kaladin's squire and not because he is his own radiant. is the implication here. Do you think that's true though, or do you think maybe Lopin has gotten like potentially his own spren coming to bond with him?
Lopin is his own thing. Lopin is a spren.
I see.
He sprouts wings.
Oh my gosh. That'd be crazy. Tadallion then speaks to the group, saying that he needs to be a bastion of stability to the world for this coming desolation. He then names Aladar High Prince of Information and Sabariel High Prince of Commerce to try to start getting Earthiru in order. Dalinar puts Adolin in charge of getting the armies together, seeing how many men they have together between the High Princes here, and making sure that they are too busy training to squabble. Tef then asks about him and the other bridgemen, and Dalinar says he wants them to continue to explore Earthiru. He also states that their goal is to protect and unite all of Roshar against the Voidbringers. Renarin then steps forward, asking what he and Shallan should be doing, and Dalinar states that they need to work on mastering their powers so that they can help new potential Radiants who come to them. Renarin seems uncertain of this, but Dalinar is confident that Renarin can do this. What did you think about the roles Dalinar has assigned to everyone?
Most of them were sturdy. I agreed with them.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he could have assigned. It was the last two. It was his kids, right?
No, it was Renarin and Shallan he assigned. So Adolin he assigns to training the armies, and then Renarin and Shallan he assigns to just like work on your abilities because we don't have anyone to train us.
Wait, am I tripping? Are they not his kids?
Shallan is not his kid. Shallan is Adolin's betrothed. I don't think they're not married, so technically she's not his daughter-in-law. Only Renarin's his kid.
Was he not? Oh wait, is Jasmine not there?
No, Yasna at the end of the last book only just reappeared from Shadesmar. She's with Wit probably traveling to the Shattered Plains right now, but it's only been like a few days since the last book.
Oh god, okay.
So like yeah, no one knows she's alive yet. Except for Wit.
And us.
Yeah. I mean in book no one knows except for
always know.
I mean, I could never hide anything from her.
I tried my best to hide it, and then I fucked up because you guys kept implying that she was alive, and I made a slip up. She was alive, but you guys didn't know that.
What do you mean? We always knew.
Yeah.
We knew ever since you like put us aside after the podcast, and you were like, "Hey guys, she's alive."
Oh yeah, I definitely did that.
I just want to tell you, she's alive, so you're not in the dark anymore.
Uh-huh.
Don't tell any of the listeners.
Yeah. Just like all the other, spoilers you've given us.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just spoil everything at the start of every single book.
Yeah, that's why I have such good theories,
You're the Tom Holland of the podcast.
Yeah. So we get chapter 3, Momentum, which is our first flashback chapter of the book, which is 34 years ago, which I believe Dalinar gives an approximate age for him here, which means Dalinar's probably somewhere between 52 and 54 in present day.
Oh.
Because he like kills a 17-year-old and is like, oh, that guy's not much younger than me. So he's probably like 18 to 20 in this flashback chapter.
And that was like, what, 32 years ago or some shit like that?
34.
34.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying he's like probably like 52 to 54 years old in present day. An old man.
Prison.
So we switch to past Dalinar's point of view as he rushes across a battlefield with men he had handpicked to not embarrass him. He does not consider them an honor guard as he doesn't need guards. The people they were fighting had set their own fields on fire to try to stop Dalinar and his men from flanking them, but Dalinar pressed through the burning fields with his men. As he bursts through the smoke to the edges of the town, he shouts and bangs his longsword against his shield to intimidate the enemy spearmen. Some of them turn and run, making Dalinar smile as he doesn't need shards to scare them. What do you think about Dalinar's hatred of having guards?
He's a lone wolf.
That changes later on, though.
Also, I don't know if you guys remember, but Adolin has the same sort of, like, not as much as Dalinar, but like if you remember when Dalinar first buys the bridgemen and sets them free and makes them his guards, he like has people guarding Adolin, and Adolin also, who's probably around the same age Dalinar was here, if not a little older, is like, I don't need guards, I can protect myself, this is bullshit. So Aelin definitely gets a little bit of that from his dad, I think, though.
Apple tree.
Yep. So Downer fights with momentum and easily kills many of the spearmen and causes them to break ranks to try to push him back. Downer's elites come to help kill the men, and Downer stabs a man through the back as he calls for his mother as he tries to crawl away. Downer notes that the man is likely around 17 and barely younger than Dalinar is. Downer rushes into the city to meet with more guards, including a man on horseback that Downer thought was hopefully one of the more skilled fighters. He was desperate for a challenge. Downer takes down one of the Bright Lord's guards, while his elites take on the others. He then glances towards the man on the horse, knowing he isn't the High Prince of the region, and he thinks that he remembers Gavilar mentioning the High Prince had a son. So what do you think about how brutally Dalinar is fighting in these flashbacks?
It's the thrill, you know?
Well, he doesn't have the thrill in him yet. He's like, if you notice, like throughout the chapter, he's like waiting for it until it shows up.
What even is that? Like,
We'll find out more about it, but I think that what you guys have been told previously is like this like bloodlust that the Alethi get during battle, and they like don't really like to fully talk about it. And I believe during the last book, during Words of Radiance, Dalinar like specifically like finds himself feeling sick whenever the thrill comes near him. Like whenever he like starts to feel the thrill, he like vomits or like is like feels really sick
wait,
about
didn't
it
we?
and
I
hates
thought
it.
we discussed that it was deriving from a spren.
Okay, I couldn't remember that came up. So yeah, so the thrill is one of the unmade.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's what I remembered.
Yeah, so basically the thrill, similar to the unmade that does the death rattles, they have like this radius around them, so wherever they are, that affects people in them. So the thrill gives people like berserker bloodlust, and the other one, which I don't think we have a name for, causes people who die near it to like have these like premonitions of the future when they die. And so like the thrill has been like hanging out in the Alethi territory most of like the past few hundred years, which is why the Alethi are known as like these savage like warriors.
Huh. That's crazy. Because there's 9 of them, right?
There are 9, so we know of 2.
Yep, and then Shadow's gonna have all of them and be a complete badass.
What do you think the others might
Other one.
do?
Mm,
You know, I should have thought about that before this podcast, so I could have came up with a great theory, but I didn't.
Maybe you'll have to think about it for next episode.
to be fair, we didn't know how many unmade there were, so
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's been mentioned before this. I think it's been very, very briefly mentioned in a few mentions of the religion, how like 10 is like Honor's number, so that's why like everything's in tens. But 9 is considered like Odium's number. So like the whole like, oh, the fact that the heralds, 9 of them betrayed 1 is considered like an evil Odium type thing to do. The fact that there's 9 unmade is like like evil. So anytime there's the number 9, especially if it was 10 and then something got taken away, that's like kind of like a big like hint thing of like, oh, this is like a bad thing or it's of Odium.
So we should turn Syl into an unmade and then make it 10 and then they're good now.
And then they're all good. Yeah, so the man on the horse accepts Dalinar's challenge, which Dalinar thinks is stupid of him. Dalinar has one of his elites shoot the Bright Lord's horse down, causing the man to fall off, but he rises before Dalinar gets to him. As they fight, Dalinar's shield strap breaks, and the Bright Lord is able to break the second strap so that the shield falls off Dalinar's arm. So they fight and Dalinar barely knocks the man's sword away, but the man punches Dalinar with his gauntlet. As he reaches for his knife, Dalinar finally feels the thrill fill him. He grins and begins fighting back harder. One of his elites throws him a poleaxe, and Dalinar knocks the Bright Lord over with it. 2 of the Bright Lord's guards come to defend him, and Dalinar begins fighting them off. The Bright Lord tries to flee, but Dalinar uses his poleaxe to knock the man over again before stabbing him through the chest. The Bright Lord asks Dalinar why they're after them, and Dalinar replies that he doesn't know, as he just goes to fight wherever his brother tells him to. So
I don't know why I'm killing you. I'm just doing it.
He's like, I don't know, I was just told to. And the guy's like, what? You don't even know? So what do you think about Dalinar just like not caring or knowing about why he's fighting people? He's just like blindly following his brother's orders.
Sounds good to me. He's a good soldier.
I mean, that is soldier mentality. So
So
Give me a flesh wound.
Downer then heads further into the town with his elites, telling them to raid the buildings for family members of the men fighting to get hostages. Blood is coming off his head from where his helm had bitten into his skin, but he mostly ignored it. Downer's chain armor is then suddenly pierced by a thick black arrow. Downer is shocked and looks around until he sees an archer far away. He thinks it's impossible to shoot an arrow that far, but then another one comes at him, which he barely dodges. Downer calls for their horses, and he and 10 of his elites ride up towards where the archer had been shooting him from. Downer worries that the man will escape, but instead, once he gets to the top, he is shot in the chest by another arrow, which almost throws him from his horse.
A flesh wound. It's only a flesh wound.
The thrill helps hold off Downer's pain as he charges at the man, who is finally trying to run off. Downer rides up past the archer and kicks him to knock him over. He then hauls the guy up to his feet and excitedly begins exclaiming about how about how one of his what the fuck did I say? Begins excitedly asking one of his elites how far the man had shot his bow and praising the man for his skill. He has the archer shoot a corpse and again is excited and even draws Oathbringer. He tells the man that he is now part of his elites, but he can be killed if he prefers. So what did you think about Downer recruiting this enemy archer?
I thought that was awesome.
What do you think, Darkness?
he's already practicing to unite them all.
Definitely a different form of uniting, that's for sure.
I mean, it's still uniting. If it works, it works.
So as they move farther into the town, Downer sees the heads of the local High Prince and other Bright Lords up on spikes. Sadeas then comes towards him in Shardplate, stating that Downer looks like a thorn bush with those arrows in him. He also states that the heir got away, but Downer tells him that he actually killed him earlier, which causes Sadeas to relax. Downer also mentions that he promised his new archer not to loot the town, which Sadeas seems upset by, as there were already some crying women that had been brought over to him to choose from for the night. Sadeas reluctantly agrees to what Downer had promised, and Sadeas then says he needs to get Downer some shards so it makes the rest of them look less bad when Downer takes down so many people on his own. Downer then wanders off, not waiting for his alcohol or surgeons, as without the thrill, he no longer feels like he's living. So first of all, what do you think about how Downer is just pretty chill with all the raiding and looting and how nonchalant he seems with the fact that Sadeas was like choosing from the town's women to rape?
Evil. He's becoming evil.
I mean, he was. As in, like, this is in the past, but the fact that, like, I mean, it's not like that surprising considering he said he only pretty much picked up the coats after his brother died, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's always going off on like, oh my god, you were like this one murder machine, like.
Yeah, and you see why he got along so well with Sadeas. Apparently they just like loot and raid and rape women from the towns they go after.
Yeah.
Because yeah, Sadeas just he had some of his soldiers just line up some random women from the town for him to choose from, which is it's just like so nonchalantly put in there, which is just like what the fuck. But yeah, what do you think about how Downer feels like he is numb when he is consumed by when he isn't consumed by the thrill? He's like, I don't even feel like I'm alive if I'm not like fighting and consumed by the thrill.
That's an addiction. That's like
Yep,
withdrawal.
100%. That's exactly what I was gonna say.
Yeah, you think he's addicted to the
addicted.
thrill?
Yep.
It seems like the reason he was fighting so hard because he was like the whole time he's like, where is it? Where is it? I need to fight harder. I need to find somebody.
Yeah,
to
like a fucking meth head.
Yep.
Addicted.
He is
It's got him
very
by the
addicted.
balls.
About to start fucking like dusting Spren and snorting it.
Oh
Damn.
god.
So yeah, that was the end of our flashback chapter. So when we go to chapter 4, Oaths, and it says, I know that many women who read this will see it only as further proof that I am the godless heretic everyone claims. From Oathbringer, preface. So who do you think is writing Oathbringer?
Dalinar.
He right?
Dalinar is not literate because men in the Vorin
Dalinar.
religion are
Yeah.
not supposed to read and write.
But Kaladin's literate.
Kaladin is not literate. He can read glyphs, which they consider not proper writing, because they're basically just like
It's still
pictographs.
writing.
It's like hieroglyphics and pictographs.
It's pictographs.
It's still writing. Just because you can't read and write the same type of language that someone else can doesn't make you illiterate.
I mean, they're definitely illiterate.
It kind of does.
If you said it does, that would have been a big problem.
I mean, yeah, not being able to not write other languages than other people doesn't make you illiterate, but the glyphs definitely are not like a proper writing system. Like they definitely are illiterate, the men in the lefty society.
You just called so many like Egyptian, like ancient Egyptians illiterate.
They are though.
No, they're not. They have a whole system, a whole language.
They're definitely illiterate.
There's a lot of people in a lot of ancient societies who are illiterate. Probably most of the people there probably were illiterate.
Yeah,
You're
Darkness,
illiterate. How about that?
Darkness, if I draw pictures and then call it a language, it doesn't make me not illiterate.
What do you mean?
Pretty pictures.
Writing in emojis does not make you literate, Darkness.
Yes, it does.
No, it
You read
doesn't.
a whole story out of it.
Anyways, because that's literally what they are. Is they're basically like
Yep,
ancient
emojis.
emojis.
Mhm.
So sorry, did you guys both say you thought it was Dalinar writing, or just Mythic? You thought it was Dalinar writing.
Mm,
We all said it. Darkness shot me down, so
shut you down.
it's all Darkness's fault. They shot me down.
That was
Who
all
you think-
midnight.
Who
She
do
said
you think
Dalinar
is?
wasn't literate.
Well, I mean,
No,
question-
don't change your mind now.
no, I was gonna say that the question is more so: do we think this is written in the past, or in the present, or the future, or the past? Because if it's written in the future, maybe he becomes literate. We don't know.
His powers gave him the power to write and read.
No, when he becomes Shadow, he becomes literate all of a sudden.
You think he's gonna
He
become
becomes
Shadow?
feminine.
He's gonna become Shadow. He's gonna be.
He's gonna be Odium's champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god, he becomes gender bent.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
god.
Anyways, we switch back to present
Gender
day.
bending him, yeah.
We switch back to present day Dalinar's point of view. 2 days after Sadeas was found dead, he can feel the Everstorm coming again, and he wanders out to the balcony in his and
Oh,
Ivani's room to watch
no.
it. The storm wasn't high enough in the sky.
No, he died.
The storm wasn't high enough in the sky to reach Urithiru, but Dalinar could see the storm clouds left by red lightning. The Stormfather tells Dalinar that the storm was not around during previous desolations. Dalinar also thinks about how the Stormfather sometimes doesn't respond to Dalinar's questions, as if to prove he won't always come when Dalinar calls him. Navani comes up behind Dalinar, hugging him, and he notes that she doesn't have her safe hand covered. He asks her if anyone had sent them messages yet, and Navani replies that they hadn't, but that she expects they can't ignore them for long now that the Everstorm has returned. So what do you think about the Stormfather being like, I'm not always going to answer you when you ask me things. I'm not at your beck and call. I have my own thing.
Yes, father.
He's an independent spren who needs no human.
He sounds petty as fuck.
He does. He sounds very petty here. Just ignoring Dalinar. I could definitely hear him, and it's just like, no, can't hear you.
See, I wouldn't be able to have him as a spend considering that I'd be like, oh yeah, I'll let the world die if you want me to fucking get ignored like that. But
That is why when you took the test, you were a will shaper, not a bondsmith. Which I think we still have yet to meet a will shaper.
what do you
These
mean?
books.
You already met me.
I meant in the
Wow.
books.
What do you mean? We already met Darkness.
That's true.
Yeah, but Darkness in the books isn't a will shaper. He's a skybreaker.
Will Shapers.
No, what-
Skyscraper?
Wait,
Skybreaker.
What's Kaladin?
Kaladin's a windrunner.
That's me. Okay.
Yeah, so both
I love these
skybreakers and
names.
windrunners can fly. They share the surge of gravitation. But like, I feel like skybreakers are like the exact opposite of will shapers, because the skybreakers are all about like, follow the law, follow this exactly, and will shapers are like, nah, dude, we're gonna do what we want.
That's because the opposites attract.
I see. So Odium then sends Dalinar visions of the Everstorm passing through the western side of Roshar, which the Stormfather confirms and says that Odium is aware of Dalinar. Dalinar is glad that the Everstorm is less powerful than when it clashed with the High Storm, but it still seems to be destroying buildings, and it still made Parchment into Voidbringers. Navani and Dalinar then kiss, but Dalinar eventually pulls away, saying he wants to do things right with Os. Navani isn't sure how they'll be able to do that, since every Ardent they are close to has refused to marry them. Downer then glances at a heating fabrial that they didn't have the Stormlight to use. They had found contraptions to lower spheres down into the storms, but the High Storm had yet to return since its clash with the Everstorm, and the Stormfather refused to tell Dalinar anything about it. Dalinar then tells Navani he wants to get married properly and for the right reasons, as he did things wrong in his last marriage. So first of all, before we get into his marriage stuff, what do you think about Odium sending Dalinar visions of the Everstorm? Kind of like how the Stormfather can with the High Storm.
Psychological warfare.
Yeah, it would stop if he would just stop using the evil spren, you know?
The Thrill?
Mhm.
Well, I don't
The
think
evil spren.
he hasn't used the Thrill in, I think, like quite a
The
while.
evil spren.
Also, what do you think about the fact that the Stormfather refuses to tell Dalinar what's up with the High Storm? Because it was supposed to be the Weeping they mentioned, but then like the Weeping started and stopped, and there was the whole like the Stormfather brought a High Storm to try and stop the Everstorm at one point. And, like Dalinar's like, I don't even know if our like ecosystem and our weather is going to be normal again. The Stormfather's like, not going to tell you. Sorry.
Nope.
I don't know
you're
who the
not allowed to
Stormfather is.
have
I
that
know Storm
information.
Daddy.
Yeah, exactly. Storm Daddy is better.
Yeah, he's definitely very petty and just like, nah, I don't want to tell you stuff.
Yeah, he's definitely Storm Daddy, for sure. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer.
Navani says he didn't do anything wrong in his last marriage, as he had married for Shardplate, and many people married for political reasons. Dalinar then admits to Navani that he cannot remember his previous wife. Navani at first thinks it's because of his excessive alcohol consumption, but Dalinar says it wasn't, and
Probably.
Navani...
So, yep, probably. That's totally what it is. Couldn't be anything else.
Yeah.
I was so happy that he actually brought it up and actually talked about it.
He finally told someone, yeah. Yeah, so Navani realized it was part of his boon and curse from the Night Watcher. Dalinar then again insists that he wants to properly marry Navani, and she gives a couple of suggestions before Dalinar states that using the Stormfather to marry them might be the best, as he is technically a part of the Almighty, and thus above the Ardents. Navani finds it odd, but doesn't object, as she'd let pretty much anyone marry them. Navani then asks if Dalinar is proposing, and he agrees, so Navani kisses him. So, what do you think about Dalinar finally telling someone that he cannot remember his wife?
Great. So happy for him.
They blamed it on him being an alcoholic.
He's like, no, actually, it was because I went and saw the Night Watcher. She's like, right, you said you knew what your curse was.
Yeah, the Night Watcher. Mm-hmm.
Why do you say it like that?
Because that's how I imagine her saying it. It's not the alcohol, right?
He was a pretty heavy alcoholic around the time of Gavilar's death, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Night Watcher. Yeah.
Why Gavilar died, because he's an alcoholic and he wasn't there to save his brother.
Yep. Although I think he has
That's
like
actually-
I think he has a realization during the second book where he's like, wow, Seth is way fucking stronger because he has like these abilities. I wouldn't have been able to do anything to save my brother anyways. I feel a little better about the fact that I didn't help him.
Would have been better
That I was a
too,
drunk.
though.
That I was a drunk and I wasn't there for my brother.
He felt a little less guilty about it. Because he's like, yeah, no, I definitely could not have done anything to save my brother at that point.
Okay, but what if like he survived the encounter and like was witness to the fact that it wasn't any of the Parshendi? Because that could have changed everything.
Well, no, they so remember they all knew that Zess wasn't a Parshendi, but the Parshendi, after Gavilar is killed, they admit to them. Like, they tell Yasna.
They admitted to it. Huh?
Yeah, they're like, no, we did this. We'll take responsibility for it. Because they basically them like the couple like leaders of the Parshendi went up to like say that so that the other Parshendi could all like flee and run away in the chaos.
Which it didn't turn out so well either way.
I mean, yeah, it didn't really work out for the best for them in the end, considering they've seemed to have brought about the desolation anyways, and all this sort of stuff, and like kind of just like, yeah, no, because we found out during the prologue that that's why they killed him, was to prevent the desolation, and then he's done it anyways. They Venli gave them storm form and It's all happening anyway, so killing Gavilar really only just delayed it about 6 years.
6 very long, painful years, considering they were at war the whole time.
Yup.
Lovely.
So
That preparing, they decided like weaken their own forces and the opposing forces that could fight the desolation. Okay.
yeah, they didn't really understand the length of how far the Alethi were willing to go to kill people to get revenge.
The people affected by the thrill.
Yeah. So we move forward several hours to Dalinar riding an elevator the size of a ballroom up to the top of Earth Eru. Adolin, Renran, Shallan, and some of the guards were also with him in the elevator, but giving him space. Ivani was already at the top of Earth Eru waiting for him. Dalinar tells the Stormfather that he is surprised he agreed to this, but the Stormfather respects all oaths. Dalinar asks if he even respects foolish oaths, which the Stormfather states that there are no foolish oaths, as oaths mark intelligence, free will, and choice. Dalinar thinks the opinion is extreme, but isn't surprised that is how the Stormfather feels. Dalinar does wonder if that is how Honor felt, though. So do you think Honor had such extreme views of oaths as well, or was he more nuanced than the Stormfather?
Nuance.
Yeah, he was more chill.
You don't think he was as extreme of like, all oaths mean everything, there is no such thing as someone promising something that's not to be taken seriously?
Yeah, I feel like that's like as long as this friend has lived, like you gotta know that that's not how it works, you know.
Well, I think that's one of the reasons why the Stormfather thinks humans are like, he doesn't really like humans very much. He's like, humans are foolish, they break oaths all the time, how dare they? He just thinks humans don't take them seriously enough.
So what Spren do? Spren take oaths? Oh my god! Wait, wait, is that how like they become the like smartest Spren or whatever?
We don't fully know why there certain Spren are the intelligent Spren versus like the more animalistic Spren. They just are for some reason.
I'm gonna go with that for now.
You think they've like made some sort of oath and that's how they become
I think they take
intelligent?
their own oaths. Yeah.
So once they reach the top of the tower, Dalinar's guards go to open the gates of the elevator. Recently, he was guarded by members of Bridge 13, as the members of Bridge 4 were too important for simple guard duty. They made their way past pillars adorned with images of the different radiant orders, and then got onto the roof, which although the smallest of the tiers of the tower, it was still over 100 yards across. Braziers and torches had been set up for warmth and light, and Dalinar could also see star spren swirling in the night sky. Ivani stood in a traditional red bridal dress for luck, and with a traditional bridal crown, which Dalinar was surprised to see she had found one. Navani had invited Aladar and Sabariel and several others to the wedding, and Dalinar was glad to see she had gotten some women to come notarize the wedding, as he had been worried none would come. He was also happy to see Kadash had come to the wedding, even though he wasn't willing to marry Navani and him himself. So what do you think about all the people who came to Navani and Dalinar's wedding?
Yeah, they had people, not just imaginary friends.
They're just there to see them fail.
That's fucked up.
I mean, it's what I would do.
You don't think they're there because they support the couple?
No,
Not at all.
it's a bunch of heathens getting married. Like,
Not even their kids?
no,
Damn.
No, the kids are also on that same
especially
thing.
Elokai. They would.
Yeah, Ellicar's not the most excited about this wedding. He's struggling a little bit with it. After Dalinar beat the shit out of him at the end of book 1.
Mhm.
My stepfather beat me.
So Illicar stands next to Navani, looking pale due to blood loss that he was still recovering from after the assassination attempt. Dalinar feels bad about how much he had seized power from Ellicar, despite claiming he had no intention of seizing power. Dalinar apologized to Ellicar, who just states that it's expected of Dalinar, and accepts Dalinar marrying his mother because it makes her happy. He gives Navani a kiss on the forehead before walking away. So, yeah, what do you think about this strained relationship between Ellicar and Dalinar?
You're strange. Also, if someone beat the shit out of me, I would be having a strange relationship with them too.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just accept them as your stepdad if they had beaten the shit out of you about like 6 months or so ago?
No, I mean, no.
feel like Darkness has a kink there.
I don't know
Oh
what you're talking
god, we're
about.
not going into that. So the Stormfather then appears, taking up the whole sky and causing men to gasp in awe and surprise. Dalinar even finds himself struggling to not step back and cower at the Stormfather's presence. The Stormfather states that oaths are the soul of righteousness. Dalinar tells the Stormfather that he is comfortable with oaths, as the Stormfather knows. The Stormfather agrees and then turns to Navani. He tells her that she has broken oaths, but she replies that humans are foolish, but this is an oath that she will not break. Dalinar also swears the oath that Navani is his, and he is hers, as she had, and the Stormfather accepts this and fades away. Oathbringer pop up around all the people watching the wedding, but Navani has glory spren surrounding her. Adolin then shouts excitedly and runs up to hug them both, trailing Joyspren. Renarin is more reserved, but Dalinar can tell he is just as happy as Adolin is. They get congratulated by everyone, even Elhokar, before Navani heads down to the floor below for food and drinks. So what did you think about the Stormfather's version of a marriage ceremony?
It was so quick and simple. I would love to go to marriages like that.
This like 5-minute marriage.
Yeah.
Boom, you're married. All right, get out of my face.
He's like, you want to get married? You want to get married? All right, bye.
We're all getting married. He's the Oprah of marriage.
Oh my gosh.
You get a
You're getting
marriage.
married, and
You
you're
get a
getting
marriage.
married.
So Dalinar then stays behind to speak briefly to Kadash. Kadash, however, says he will have to report the marriage and that Dalinar being married by the Stormfather is still blasphemy. Kadash is also upset when Dalinar briefly brings up the past, and Dalinar remembers Kadash vomiting after a battle just before he went to join the Ardentia, but he isn't sure what Kadash had seen to cause that. Kadash also brings up how upset the other Ardents are about Dalinar claiming the Almighty is dead. Dalinar tries to say that maybe the Almighty was just an agent of God, but Kadash says that is worse and not to repeat that. Dalinar states that he will tell people anything he learns, as he cannot lie while being bound by oaths to the Stormfather. Kadash, however, says that even if he isn't lying, he can still make mistakes. Kadash then repeats that he was there before leaving, and Dalinar thinks Kadash is remembering something he isn't. Dalinar then goes to find Navani, his wife. So what do you think Dalinar isn't remembering that made Kadash want to be an Ardent and upset him that much when Dalinar speaks?
They did describe like a hostage situation and all that about his wife, though, right?
Yeah, Dalinar says that the little he knows about his wife's death, was that like she had been like taken hostage or something at this one town and killed, but he doesn't like know much more about it than that. But like he's like whatever happened made him like basically turn to alcohol really heavily, and eventually, as I choke again, and eventually go to the Night Watcher. So yeah, do you have any theories, Darkness, about what it could have been that Dalinar's not remembering that Kadash is like obviously so upset about?
Maybe he just failed the hostage situation. What if he killed his own wife?
That'd be
Right
pretty
in front
crazy.
of him.
Why do you think he would do that?
That's just the thrill.
You
Could
think
be-
maybe he like went crazy with the thrill? Would you say, Darkness?
I said that could be it.
Bloodlust. Mwahaha.
Be pretty bad if he did that.
Very.
Would it though?
And then
Would it really?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I guess we don't really know anything about her. Maybe she was a terrible person. Adolin and Renarin seem to have fond memories of her, though.
didn't she have like? No, maybe I'm like confusing myself. Cause like I remember reading something about Shardbreaker.
Yeah, so Navani says that Dalinar married her for like her family's shard plate or something. So like they had like a political marriage where like what Dalinar got out of it was like this shard plate that the wife owned. And I think Adolin mentions in previous books that like the shard plate he inherited from his mom. So I think it's the shard plate that Adolin wears that Dalinar got out of the wedding.
Huh.
I think we also know that she's foreign because Adolin and Renarin both have blonde in their hair, which is not typical for Alethi. So she's like, I think from like Erie or Rira or something like that, from like that region.
I was about to say how foreign.
Like, fill the wall foreign.
It's not foreign enough to be a world hopper. I think just foreign as in she's from a different part of
I
the
don't know.
continent.
Guys, we gotta build a wall around the
Perpendicularity.
We gotta build a wall. Keep them all out.
I don't know, Midnight. What if she's part of like the Iriali or whatever they're fucking called?
I mean, yeah, she could be. I think we know that Iri and Rira both have people with blonde hair, so I think she's probably from somewhere around there. So I think Rira is people who are Iriali mixed with other Rosharans, and the Iri are supposed to be like mostly like pure Iriali. It's definitely possible that if she's not a world hopper, her like ancestors could have been.
You went from it's not possible that she's a world hopper to if she's not a world hopper, her ancestors were.
I didn't say it wasn't possible. I was just saying we don't have any proof that she's a world hopper, but like considering her blonde hair, like it's possible that her ancestors could have been world hoppers.
Huh.
Then we get chapter 5, Hearthstone. We get a little map of the different princedoms of Alethkar here. So our epigraph is, I can point to the moment when I decided for certain this record had to be written. I hung between realms, seeing into Shadesmar, the realm of the Spren, and beyond. From Oathbringer Preface. So what do you think about the fact that the writer of this book has seen into Shadesmar?
Seems like this might be Yasna.
You think Yasna is writing this book? Or has wrote it?
No, I'm just making wild accusations.
What did you say, Darkness?
I said they're nosy as. I was gonna lead with their nosy as fuck, and yeah, it's probably Jasmine.
I mean, we definitely know that she is one of the few people that we know that's looked into Shadesmar and been there.
She's more than looked into Shadesmar, yeah.
Yeah, she's hung out there for like a good few months. So we switch to Kaladin's point of view after getting pretty much all Dalinar. And Kaladin is wandering through the fields of Alethkar. He has been too late to get to Hearthstone before the Everstorm, as although he had taken what he thought was a lot of stormlight, he had run out after only a day and a half. Now he had been walking since landing somewhere in Aladar's princedom. He could see debris from buildings that were built to withstand high storms, although they were built to brace against eastern winds, not western ones. He had also tried getting in contact with his hometown when visiting other settlements along the way, but none of them had span reeds for him to use. Kaladin was currently wearing a General Colin uniform, as his Bridge 4 one had been too tattered from the fight to keep wearing. So what do you think about how Kaladin's like, he just looks like a kind of general soldier, it doesn't fit him very well, he doesn't have like his fancy Bridge 4 uniform on?
I mean, is that much of a difference? Like, would they recognize the Bridge 4 uniform?
I don't know if they'd recognize the Bridge 4 uniform, but they would probably. I think he had like specifically like a sergeant or or a captain's coat and stuff like that. So I think it was like, and it fit him better. So I think when he gets in later to like meet up with that one guard, like it's noted that like, oh, his uniform doesn't fit him well. He probably stole it. Whereas like, if he was in his normal uniform, it'd probably be like, oh no, that's made to fit him. It's like a like ranked uniform. It's not just some random uniform.
If only they knew.
I mean, that's like saying he was trying to fight the accusations, though. He wasn't. He was literally just chilling.
He was in a little bit of shock that like, oh, my parents are actually alive after I thought for like a full like probably like day or two that they were dead.
He was sitting down sipping on whatever the fuck soup they gave him.
Yeah, he was sitting on
without
like, sipping a
commenting on
broth.
anything.
He was just like sitting there like, damn, it's been a long trek.
That pissed me off so much.
Did it?
Yeah, because dude, in front of your parents, they're talking shit to you. Like, do something.
So Kaladin then notices a town in the distance and notes that they're about 2 hours from his hometown. Syl also mentions that Kaladin's eyes are brown again, as apparently they fade back to brown if he hasn't held his Shardblade for a few hours, but when he does, they turn to a glassy light blue that is almost glowing. Syl also had made herself look like she was wearing a hava, which Kaladin found interesting. Syl says she spent hours working on it. She then gets distracted by an amphibian and goes to look at it and makes herself look like it. When she returns, she asks why he isn't excited to be home, and Kaladin just states that they were supposed to get here before the Everstorm. So, were you expecting that Kaladin's family was going to be dead, or did you expect them to be alive?
I was kind of hoping they'd be dead, to be honest.
I thought they would be dead too.
Also, what do you think about Kaladin's conflicting feelings about his eye color changing back and forth between light blue and brown.
He's a
It's
fake
a little.
light eyes.
Sorry, what did you say, Mythic?
He's a fake light eyes.
It's a little weird because I wouldn't know how to feel about it either, considering it's only there when you activate that stuff. So
Imagine if he had walked in and he'd been a Light Eyes when they saw him. A Light Eyes with a slave brand, because apparently that's just not a thing. Apparently, if you
I-
if you do enough, they mentioned I think in the first book, if you do something that's bad enough that you get turned into a slave, but you're a Light Eyes, they just kill you.
oh god, really?
Yeah, apparently they
Even
don't.
though you're a light eyes?
Yeah, so basically you're too high up to be made into a slave if you're a Light Eyes. So you either do something to be punished in a different way, or if it's bad enough, you just get fucking like executed.
Huh.
And I think because they need like a labor force, they're less likely to execute slaves unless they're like super unruly. They just like make you into a slave as the lowest form of punishment.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves.
So you've been very into Epic the Musical lately.
Yep.
I watched that a few months ago. I was obsessed with it for a while.
Okay.
I'm avoiding it.
It's so
Have you
good,
seen
Darkness.
I know,
Yes,
but I'm avoiding it.
Have you seen the like cut songs that they've put out?
I have not.
Oh, some of them are so good.
Are they so good too? My favorite ones are fuck. It's been a while since I've watched them. The one where fucking Hermes comes and hangs out with
Oh yes.
him right after
Ah.
getting off the island.
Yep. Oh, God, so good.
I think it's called
That music's
Dangerous.
probably one of my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah, Dangerous is one of my favorites. I love Hermes. Hermes is like my favorite character.
I don't know. I definitely think I've been rotating between that and when he kills Poseidon. Or
Poseidon's
not kills, but absolutely fucking stabs the shit out of him.
I don't like that song
like,
as much.
You can't kill me. And he's like, I know.
I like the Ruthless song better. I like that one's really good.
Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Ah, that's the whole
Epic the
thing is so
Musical's
good.
so
I love
good.
the whole
It's so
goodness.
good. You need to watch it, Darkness. It's so good.
I don't know.
It's so good. You'll enjoy it.
What do you not know? I don't understand, Darkness. It's so good.
I don't know. I stay away from popular stuff for a while.
Oh, okay.
Just watch it, Darkness. You gotta watch the playlist that has like a bunch of all the animatics and everything with it.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Mm.
But yeah, so we skip forward some time to Kaladin trudging through the rain as he gets to the top of the hill and can see his hometown. The buildings look destroyed and he sees no light, which worries him. Kaladin can't see his home through the dark rain, but thinks he can't go there yet anyways. He wanders towards the City Lord's manor, where the parshmen likely would have been when they turned into Voidbringers. Kaladin thinks that he wouldn't be upset if he saw Rashon's corpse. Syl also notes the presence of a rare spren called Gloomspren, and she says that she knew another honor spren that she used to refer to as her aunt that liked to hunt Gloomspren, which Kaladin is surprised by. So what do you think about the fact that like Radiant Spren apparently will hunt some of the more animalistic type Spren, kind of like how humans hunt animals?
I mean, they are animals, so.
What do you think about it, Darkness?
Hunter's friend?
I don't think there are hunter Spren.
I mean, technically, they would be Hunter's friend. Just not in the literal sense. Well,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
No, I don't. Can you explain it?
No, it's too much work.
So Kaladin notices a light inside the manor, likely from a candle or a lantern, and wonders if it's humans or Voidbringers inside. He walks carefully around the building, which had boarded up windows, likely due to the Everstorm breaking the glass. As Kaladin makes his way into the building, a side door opens, and Kaladin tries to hide, but is seen. Luckily, it's a human guard who calls out to him, and not a Voidbringer. Kaladin holds up his hands and allows the man to bully him into the building, as he feels some relief that not all humans here are dead. So were you surprised that it was humans and not Voidbringers inside the manor?
A little bit, yeah.
But where do you think the Voidbringers are?
About to murder somebody, probably.
Where do you think the Voidbringers are, Darkness?
Don't they come with the storm?
So the storm comes and it turns the parchment into Voidbringers, and Kaladin says that the City Lord had parchment. There should have been Voidbringers here, but like, he's not seen any Voidbringers.
Oh my god, they got turned into soup.
They got turned into soup. Oh my
And
gosh.
they're being eaten as we speak. Oh my god.
Calvin's eating them right now.
So we get chapter 6, 4 Lifetimes. And the epigraph is, I thought that I was surely dead. Certainly some who saw farther than I did thought I had fallen. From Oathbringer preface. So do you think this is referring to someone who almost dies in this book, or someone who has almost died previously?
I think it's Kaladin dies in book 3, so.
Well, this is saying that they thought that they were dead, but they didn't die. So do you think that means Kaladin almost dies in book 3, but doesn't actually
Kaladin dies in book 3.
Metaphorically.
Obviously, our listeners would never lie to us.
Never.
Never.
Metaphorically.
So we continue with Kaladin's point of view as he heads into Roshon's manor as he feels hope as he sees how many people from the town were here. Dozens of people were inside the manor, milling around or sitting with their families. Kaladin wonders if his parents are alive and begins trying to head farther into the manor, but the guard who had found him holds him back since he and no one else recognizes Kaladin. The guard tries to force Kaladin to head towards where Bright Lord Roshon is, but Kaladin just glares at him and doesn't let himself be pushed around. He isn't surprised that no one recognizes him, though, as he's wet, dirty, tired, and hasn't shaved in days. So what do you think about how Kaladin kind of, like, looks down on the guard here? Because I think he, like, insults him. He's like, his eyes are too close together. He doesn't look like he, like, has ever fought before. He's kind of mean to the guy.
To the guard?
Yeah.
It's deserved.
It's not really deserved at this point, though. The guy's just trying to, like, protect all the people in here. And he's like, wow, this guy's ugly and
Kaladin...
stupid. And...
No, it's deserved. It's 100% deserved.
What do you think, Mythic?
I agree with Darkness. It's 100% deserved.
I see. Okay. I felt it was a little rude, but it is what it is.
You know what's rude? Getting bullied into a door.
Again, he thinks
That's
he's like
rude.
like a deserter or slave who's like run off.
Yeah. Did he ask? No. Actually, he did ask.
Yeah, I think Alfonso just doesn't say anything to him.
Yeah, he literally went, "Are you a deserter?"
And he just refuses to talk. He just follows him. I don't think he says like a single word to this guy. He just like either glares at him or like ignores him. So Kaladin soon hears the moans of the injured and dying as he hurriedly heads that way, not surprised to see his father helping the people laying on mats on the floor. Liren at first asked if the High Prince had sent soldiers so quickly before doing a double take and realizing who Kaladin was. Kaladin says hello as he dodges a swing from the guard who has finally caught up to him. Liren hurries over to Kaladin, hugging him as he calls for Kaladin's mother. Hasina comes into the room and drops a tray of bandages when she sees Kaladin. She hurries over as well, touching his face. Kaladin apologizes for Tien's death, and Hasina says that they got his letter, but had also been told not long later that he had died. Liren says that Kaladin shouldn't have gone in the first place, but he cries as he says Kaladin is back. So were you surprised that Kaladin's parents were both still alive?
Yes. Figured the one dude would have murdered them.
Yeah.
Nope, Roshon needs them. Needs to have a healer. Can't get away with not having the surgeon around, no matter how he bullies him. So we skip a short amount of time to Kaladin sipping a cup of soup as his mother comforts him. Liren is being talked to by a soldier about Kaladin's slave brands and how his parents had likely been told he was dead to save them the shame of Kaladin being made into a slave. Hasina insists that Roshon won't go against Liren with all these wounded people, so they won't be able to send Kaladin away from his parents. The soldier and Liren continue to argue about Kaladin as Kaladin turns to glance at the injured people in the room. They didn't have injuries from battle, just from the Everstorm, causing Kaladin to wonder where the Voidbringers went. Hasina says she has some things to tell Kaladin, but she's interrupted by Liren asking if she can write to the High Prince to at least get an explanation for Kaladin's brands, since the guard is being so annoying about it. So what do you think about Liren arguing over Kaladin's freedom with the soldier?
I was over it all. That's the part where I was just like, oh my fucking god, like, Say something, bro.
He's just sitting there drinking soup where his dad's like, I don't care if he has slave brands. We'll get it figured out. I'm the only surgeon here. He can help me. What are you going to do without me, huh?
The way that like he didn't even step up when he was like, "Hey, go write a letter and send some like words to like whoever the fuck cares." And then
I'm pretty
Kaladin
sure it
didn't
would
even
be
like.
Sadius that they'd be writing to, like Sadius's assistants.
That's what I'm saying though. Like I don't even like think it would matter if they even tried because
I don't
like
think anyone would
by the
respond.
time-
They're too busy.
yeah. So like, why are you wasting their time? Just tell them like what's happening.
Yeah. Because, yeah, Kaladin grew up in the Sadius princedom, so, like, if they're writing
just-
to anyone, it's to Sadius, who is now dead.
Fuck. The thing is that he can't even grab his parents and leave because his parents are like fucking
They're important
honorable
here.
or whatever.
Yeah. Imagine Hesina writes to, like, Sadius's people, and they're like, Kaladin, you say. Kaladin Stormblessed? Fucking murder him. He probably killed Sadius. Fuck that guy. Is probably what the
they
response would
wouldn't
be.
have like wait maybe no because he's been left.
He has been left, but they probably would still blame him. They'd be like, fuck that guy.
Kaladin, the slave boy.
They're like, oh yes, he murdered many people. He should be put down instantly, right now. Get rid of him. Fuck that guy. He like kicked puppies or something. Just saying all the worst things about him. If he lived in any other princedom, they'd probably be like, oh yeah, no, that guy's fine, whatever. But no, Sadius's princedom? Definitely not.
And it's like I said, it's the fact that he can't even just grab his parents and leave because his parents would be like, no, they need us here. Like, I just.
I mean, that was a thing that Kaladin suggested, I think, when he was a kid, was like, hey, what if our whole family just gets the fuck out? Aaron's
Yeah,
like,
but he literally has the power to literally carry them over his shoulders. And
he
just
does. He
leave
can
away.
just pick them up and like lash them into the sky if he gets some stormlight. Like, you are coming whether you like it or not.
Also, I want him to just pull out the Shardblade. Just pull out the Shardblade.
Right? Then his eyes light up and everything, and it's like, yeah, dude, you can't fuck with me.
Yeah, what you gonna do? Pull out your little like pokey stick?
Yeah, because with the whole Amaram situation, like Downer mentions how like you can't even like imprison a shard bearer unless like they agree to it because they can just cut their way out of prison.
Right.
Like the only way to like
Or
if,
just, like,
if a shard bearer
there's
goes
gotta be-
rogue, the only way to get rid of him is to like murder him.
They gotta have spheres in there somewhere that are charged. Go grab one and just light the fucking place like a disco ball.
Just like breathe in a little bit, just start glowing and be like, hey, I can stick something to the ceiling if you want. I would stick Rashon to the ceiling.
All of that, and just like solve time. Just like, you know.
I would just stick Rashon to the ceiling and be like, okay, so I'm in charge now. Because he's just flailing like a little baby up there. It'd be hilarious.
I'm looking forward to see if he meets that one girl.
Oh, Laurel?
Sure. Yanni.
His past love. Yeah, we don't know where she is because the guy she was supposed to marry, I'm pretty sure he got killed, right? He died in that the fucking White Spine attack. That's the reason that Tian got sent off to war. So for all we know, Rashon like sent her off somewhere to get married off to someone else. But the guard continues to glare at Kaladin, but Kaladin thinks he looks like he's never been in battle before, based on how he walks and moves in his armor. Syl mentions that Kaladin's parents are just like she remembers, even though she hadn't known Kaladin when he had lived in Hearthstone. Kaladin is confused, but Syl's
Your life.
Kaladin is confused, but Syl just
Stalker.
Pardon?
She's a stalker.
Kaladin is confused, but Syl just states that everyone and everything is connected. Kaladin sees Rashon speaking to the guard, having the same hateful look in his eyes as Kaladin remembers. Kaladin walks over to him, and Rashon looks at Kaladin's slave brands, asking if he had hit a light ice. Kaladin just says yes, before punching Rashon and saying that was for his friend Moash. So what do you think about Kaladin still calling Moash his friend, even after all that happened in the last book?
Well, I mean, Moash is still his friend, so.
I don't even remember Moash.
Moash was the asshole who was like, I'm gonna go kill the king, even if you say not to. I don't care.
Moash? More like more ass. No, I'm joking. But like, Yeah, I barely I remember what you're talking about, but I don't remember much about him.
Mm.
Yeah, it's because you like the other guy who wants to fly.
Yeah.
Lopen? Lopen's great.
Yeah.
Also, what do you think about Syl saying she somehow remembers Kaladin's parents through the wind? Because everything is connected.
I told you she's a stalker. Been stalking Kaladin since he was a baby.
It's messed up.
She's like, this one is gonna be the one that I attach myself to.
Have you considered grooming?
That's exactly what it is.
She's like, I will make him into the perfect Radiant.
Exactly.
I
If
just
we
gotta get
start
his
when he's
brother
young,
killed.
no,
We just
we
gotta give him
start
some
when he's young,
trauma.
and we just brainwash him with all of the trauma in his life.
Just gotta break him
We'll be the
down.
perfect Radiant.
So you separate
Break
him
him
from
down
his
first
family.
to build him up.
Yeah, you separate him from his family, like all controlling people. You kill off his brother, get him away from his parents by making him a slave, and then he has no choice but to love me.
Make him hate society, and then we'll build him back up.
Oh my gosh, Syl is a master manipulator who's been grooming Kaladin his whole life.
And she learned it from Storm Daddy, so
Oh god. Does Stormfather groom Dalinar as well, even though he seems to hate Dalinar?
yep.
Stormfather's just tsundere. That's all.
It's all a play. It's all a play. He's like, if I look like I hate him, he wants me more.
He's just being very tsundere about the whole thing.
Exactly.
It's like, no, I didn't want
I
you to
don't
be my
like you.
Radiant.
I don't like you, Baka.
Ew.
Alright, so we got our overview questions. First of all, what do you think
Ew.
about the differences in Dalinar in his flashbacks versus Dalinar in the present?
Dalinar in his flashbacks is more badass.
Yeah, he's cool.
He's cool.
Yeah. I like his flashback version more.
Do you think
He needs to
Dalinar
go
will
back to that.
Do you think Dalinar will be able to unite the countries of Roshar to fight together against the Voidbringers?
Absolutely not. Not until he gets his memories back.
Do you think he's gonna get his memories back?
Nope. That's why I said absolutely not. Nobody will trust him ever since he murdered his own wife.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see if we find out what really happened to her. If Darkness is right about that or not.
Mm-hmm.
I could find out right now. Let me just go to the Cosmere.
Oh my gosh. It's like, no, actually, Navani killed her. She's just been
Makes
playing.
Plot twist.
She knows the whole time Dalinar doesn't remember, so she's just been like pretending to not realize. She's like, oh no, whatever happened to her? I liked her so much. Imagine. Do you think we'll meet some of the other Radiant Orders in this book?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. There's like 10 of them, right?
There are 10. I think we've met 4. Because we have Kaladin the Windrunner, Shallan the Lightweaver, Renarin the Truth Watcher, and Dalinar the Bondsmith. Those are the 4 we know that we've met. Do you think we're going to meet all of the other 6, or do you think we're just going to meet another couple of them? Oh, I guess we also know Lift the Edge Dancer. So sorry, we know half of them. We know 5 Radiants. So do you think we're going to meet all the other 5, or do you think we're just going to meet like a couple others?
Who was that person from the one with the shiny people?
Oh, Elantris?
Yeah, that one guy who was like his power was dancing.
Oh fuck, I forget his name, but yeah, the that one guy. He was like the ladies' man. Like all the women loved him or something.
Radiant. That's a Radiant.
He has a
He
Radiant.
reminds, he reminds me of a yoga instructor.
Do you wish your powers came from yoga?
Ew.
But yeah, so what other Radiant Orders do you think we're gonna meet?
The other ones.
All of them. We're gonna meet them all.
We're gonna meet all of
All
them.
at once.
All right.
Every last one of them.
You see.
Better question.
mm.
What other unmade are we going to see next?
Yeah, are we gonna
One other
see all the other 7 unmade, or are we just gonna see a couple of
Nope,
them?
just one more.
One more
Just one
unmade.
more.
All right. What
I'll
power
have
do
you
you
know.
think?
I think that shit. What's the sword's name again?
Nightblood,
Yeah, I
Oathbringer,
think Nightblood. I think Nightblood
Oathbringer.
is unmade.
Ooh, interesting. That would be very interesting if Nightblood was an unmade. Because we do know that Vasher came to Roshar, and that's where he got the idea to make Nightblood. So maybe he did capture an unmade and turned it into Nightblood.
Huh. How about this, right?
Mm.
It turns out an unmade is one of the new Radiants.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Imagine.
How would
That'd be
that
cool.
work?
That'd be a cool plot
Could a,
twist.
could a Spren bond a Spren and become a Radiant?
I don't see why not.
oh,
If they could bond with
badass.
crap people, like,
That'd be very interesting.
could they make? Huh.
I don't think a Radiant Order Spren could become a Radiant because, like,
I mean, because they're the ones. Well,
because
actually,
like they already they can't really like embody, I don't think, the other Radiant Order attributes because they're so connected to their Radiant Order.
okay, but what if two Radiant Orders spread from the same Radiant Order bond?
I feel like they already have enough of the powers that they wouldn't need to, though. Like, because Syl can stick things together. She can fly already. Like, does she need to be a
Okay, but she
Radiant?
could do it ×2 then after.
Times two.
Like, what the fuck would you need a human for after that if you could just do that?
The reason they bond with the humans is so they can, like, gain access to, I think, more sentience and, like, be physical in the human realm. Like, the physical realm.
You don't need that when you have a fucking hive mind.
Hive mind. Okay. Also, what do you think is going to happen with Kaladin now that he's reunited with his family?
Gonna get soft.
Damn.
He's gonna either have to like take that whole fucking town with him, or leave them behind.
Hmm. You think he's gonna have to try and get like all of the Hearthstone back to the Shattered Plains in order to get his like mom and dad to come with him?
Yeah, or because they're not leaving them.
Hmm.
Also, can multiple people be bonded to one spren, or is it a limited bond?
I believe it's a 1-to-1 bond as far as we've seen.
Nah,
What
Shadow's
about?
gonna be bad for all of them.
So if you can't bond two people to one spren, can you bond two spren to one person?
We don't know. We've only seen the 1-to-1.
Yes, because Shadow has all
She answered
9.
that one differently, so I'm gonna take that as a yes.
What do you mean I answered that one differently? How did that?
You first of all, you said the other one. You said the other one.
No,
No,
the other one. You
it's a 1-to-1.
the other one. And this one, you were like, well, maybe we haven't seen it yet. Context clues.
She's just gonna end up banning like end of the session questions.
I'm gonna have like AI responses. ChatGPT response.
You roll like
Good
a
luck
magic
with that.
8-ball.
Good luck with that, because if you do that, then guess what? I could probably get all the information.
Oh yeah, you probably could. Yeah, as Darkness said, I'll magic 8-ball it.
Try again.
It is uncertain. Probably.
It is uncertain.
Maybe. Try again later.
Most likely not.
I had a magic
Yeah,
8-ball when I was a kid. I loved it.
Yeah. We
I had like
gotta
5
get
of them.
Midnight a magic 8-ball, so she can answer by just taking it and looking at the answer.
I'll roll a
I used to like
d20.
opening them.
I'll roll a d20 every time you guys respond. The smaller the number, the more negative the response is. The higher the number, the more positive the response is.
Just make a table.
Absolutely not. You're wrong.
Literally, just make a table and then roll a d20 and then read off that table.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, a nat 20 is like, oh yeah, that'll definitely happen. And that one is like, no, that's impossible. Never. You guys like ask like,
Never gonna happen.
you're like, is Kaladin a windrunner? No, absolutely not. It's impossible.
No, that's impossible. 100%. Nope, never happened.
And my final question though is, what do you think is going to be the main plot of this book, knowing that there are still 2 more books to come?
The plot's to unite them, obviously.
Mm.
Unite them all.
unite the Spren, unite the crab people, unite all the high princes, unite the world, unite Adonisia, and then he's done.
It's gonna be about Kaladin dying because
No, he's metaphorically.
We'll find out, won't we? Kaladin dies in book 3.
If he dies, I'm unsubscribing.
That person's gonna wait till the end of this and then change their name to something else.
Yeah, it'll be Kaladin dies in book 3. We get to the end of book 3. Why
Kaladin
isn't
dies in
Kaladin
book 4.
dead? Yeah, Kaladin. It would be like Shallan dies in book 4 or something like that. They'll switch characters too.
Dalinar murdered his wife.
They'll do it for like 6 books, and then like one of them will be like correct or something, you know, or like the first one's correct and then 2 aren't correct, and then like one's correct. You're gonna be like, I just don't know.
Man, I'm gonna need you to wear like a fucking like what is it, a heart monitor, like on these streams.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just like watching for it to see like how if you think that I'm telling you guys the truth or if you're getting
we're gonna be like spouting out theories, and then the higher it gets, the closer that's how we know the closer we are.
Okay. We're gonna put it on a live sector and then ask her questions.
Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious. Does Kaladin die at the end of book 3?
Dude,
He's like sweating profusely. We're shining a light above her head and everything.
Friend, is Nightblood actually a whatever?
Not made.
Yeah, that's it. Just start asking all these questions.
Alright, well that is the end of our episode. Did you guys have any more thoughts or theories before I tell you the next chapters?
I have a theory that Dalinar murdered his wife and his own brother.
And his brother. Damn.
Just to get with his brother's wife.
Damn, that'd be fucked up.
And
then he
because
forgot.
He wanted to be a stepdaddy.
And then he forgot that whole plan because he went to the Night Watcher.
but somehow still went through with it. Yep.
What do you think, Darkness? Any more thoughts?
I think we're gonna be reading 7 to 13. Imagine.
Yeah.
No,
I think so
we're
too.
reading 7 to 11.
Ah.
I think we're gonna read
7 to 11.
the very end.
Sorry, what did you say, Mythic?
I think we're gonna read 7 till the end.
No, we are not reading that many chapters.
The whole book.
Oh my
god.
Now.
I'm so annoyed if the next chapter's not a Kaladin chapter.
The next chapter. What is the next chapter called? Next chapter is called A Watcher at the Rim.
That doesn't sound like a Kaladin chapter.
Whose chapter do you think it is? A Watcher at the Rim.
Dalinar.
You think that's a Dalinar chapter?
I think most of this is a Dalinar book.
No, but it can't be a Dalinar book if Kaladin dies in book 3.
Well, what if Dalinar kills him?
Oh no.
Yeah, like that could
Dalinar should have died like a couple books ago.
Do you want to hear the other chapter titles? You can decide which you think might be a Kaladin chapter.
Yeah.
Alright,
here we go.
Chapter 8 is called A Powerful Lie.
Oh, that sounds like a Kaladin chapter.
Yeah.
You don't think it sounds like a Shallan chapter?
Oh, I forgot about her. She's not important in this book.
No.
Shallan's all about the lies, dude.
She's not here. She's not here no way.
She was there in the background of Dalinar's chapter. She just didn't say anything.
No, she probably got like lasered away to a different fucking like dimension or something when they got transported.
Went into the perpendicularity.
She was at the wedding.
Nah, she
that wasn't her. That was a light weaving she left behind.
Light weaving. The chapter 9 is The Threads of a Screw.
That sounds like a Shallan chapter to me, but okay.
Like a darkness chapter.
A darkness chapter.
That sounds like a darkness chapter.
And then chapter 10 is Distractions.
That's a Kaladin chapter. For
That's
sure.
a Kaladin chapter?
No, that's a Dalinar chapter. What?
And then our final chapter is called The Rift.
I lied. All of these are Shallan chapters except for the last one.
Shallan.
Except for the last
They're all
one.
Shallan chapters.
The last one is Dalinar.
I'm pretty sure the last one is a flashback.
From Dalinar.
Yeah. Well, all the flashbacks are going to be from Dalinar.
Nah.
Yeah.
What if they're from Storm Daddy?
Oh God. Do you want Stormfather to be a flashback character?
Yeah, we need to see his
Storm-
teenage self.
Good night.
Yeah.
Good night. That is not who we said. We said Storm Daddy.
Yes, and I call him Stormfather.
No,
He is someone to be
Storm Daddy.
respected. You should give him his proper title.
he's
No,
petty as fuck.
Why would we respect this man?
He's an all-powerful spren, head of the High
Who-
Storms, a sliver
Oh,
of honor.
he likes to be dominant and have power over people.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Well, sounds very daddy of him.
Oh my gosh. He's Syl's dad. He's Syl's father.
He's Sill's what?
Dad.
Storm Daddy.
He's Sill's daddy.
No.
He would fucking strike us down if he could. Not gonna lie.
He 100% would. He'd be like, "What the fuck are you saying about me? Lightning, lightning."
Storm Daddy. Storm Daddy, strike me down.
Anyways, so yeah,
No, he would be
chapters-
petty as fuck. Wait, hold on. He would be petty as fuck not to do it if you call him Storm Daddy.
Oh my gosh.
Storm Daddy, come on. Please, Storm Daddy.
So yeah, chapters
Oh my-
7 to 11 next week. Thank you so much to our Patreons, Hubris, Kaladin Dies in Book 3, Kyle, and Danny the Spoon Lord. We appreciate you all very, very
Danny
much.
the Spoon Lord.
And we will see you next time. Bye!
Bye.
Goodbye.